Hello, my name is Arish Fatma and I'm going to be answering critical reflection question number 3 of how did your production skills develop throughout this product. Firstly, looking back at it, from my first media exercise to the final film product, I can confidently say that I went from a clueless beginner with a camera to someone who actually knows what they're doing, well, most of the time. The production was full of trial and error, unexpected plot twists, and few last minute panic moments, but a real life version of what filmmaking is actually like, which was really eye opening. The first exercise was show don't tell, which meant we had to take pictures around the college and that told a story without any dialogues. We were given a few prompts such as an expensive looking room and two people having intense conversation. It sounded really easy until we actually had to go and run around in college and make two people stand close to each other having an intense conversation without any subtitles, which was harder than expected. But it definitely taught me how framing, body language, and composition can do a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to storytelling. Next, we had to do a photography task where we had to capture different shots and angles such as point of view, bird's eye view, and wide angles, close up, extreme close up, such as that. This was super helpful because it forced me to actually apply all the theory that we learned in our class rather than just memorizing short names for the sake of it. It was also a fun excuse to run around our college campus acting like we were professionals. But it really taught me how to actually use my theoretical knowledge into a practical composition. Next came up our first video assignment, which was a really simple shot and cut scene where we had to experiment with editing techniques and continuity principles. This is where I learned that cutting from one shot to another shot smoothly is an art form, one that I definitely did not master immediately, but practice makes perfect. Also, one of the coolest tasks that we had to do was genre photography exercise, where we were assigned into groups and given some genres such as fiction, film noir, and stuff like that. We were actually assigned film noir, which meant we got to mess around with moody lighting, dramatic shadows, and black and white aesthetic. It was our first real introduction to using lighting to create atmosphere. This was my first real deep dive into how lighting affects tone, and it was a game changer in understanding how should I actually apply it practically rather than just theoretical knowledge, and actually applied all of this into my filmmaking as well. Then we had our chase sequence project, which was the first time we were told to use a professional camera to shoot. This was when I discovered that holding a camera steady while running around is basically impossible, so thank you for stabilizer and tripod. I acted in this one instead of camera work, which really gave me a new perspective on how important blocking and direction are when you were shooting with your actor. One of the funniest experiences that I had with overall this whole preliminary task was the scene recreation. We had originally planned as a group to recreate a kitchen scene from Friends, but instead, thanks to location issues and some other complications, we had to switch it up last minute to a office scene of Friends instead. We went around and borrowed a suit from an admin office and shot an office scene in our media lab. But this taught me a valuable lesson that things can go wrong and you just have to roll with it. And honestly, it wasn't even that bad. I actually liked it and it was a really good experience. The final task came, which was an A to an AS collaboration video where we had to represent an emotion in a group. There were multiple emotions that Miss had picked out, which were anxiety, embarrassment, range, and we were assigned fear actually. As you can guess, this was from the film Inside Out 2. I took in charge of the camera work that day, which gave me more confidence in handling professional equipment, framing shots effectively, and capturing emotion visually. This really helped me further on to feel confident in myself that I can actually do this. By the time we got to our actual film production, I had built up a solid understanding of cinematography, editing, and directioning. All the random tasks that we had to go through, such as figuring out the lighting for noir task or adjusting shots on the go for Friends debacle, it really helped me develop a strong problem-solving mindset and introduced some new skills that I had no idea how to do before taking media studies. The research stage was really important too. Studying David Fincher's visual style really made me focus on things such as low-key lighting, precise filming, and area retention techniques. Looking into Paramount as a distribution model really helped me in shaping how I want to approach marketing and audience engagement. Importantly, throughout this whole thing, I was able to think on my feet, adapt quickly, and every mistake was a learning opportunity for me. Whether it was fixing continuity errors or adjusting to last-minute sequence changes, or figuring out the best way to tell a story visually, I can confidently say that my production skills have improved a big time, and this has really helped me overall in my sequence, which I really think I did a good job in providing the visual element to it.